Thank you, Speaker. I wish to contribute to debate on the Bail Amendment Extension of Limitation on Bail in Certain Circumstances Bill 2025. It is a fact that there is continued and justified community concern about youth crime. I know that the focus has recently been on the magnitude of youth crime, especially in regional communities. However, no electorate is immune. The increasing incidence of motor theft, break and enter and assault offending by young people, and those young people then being released on bail despite repeat offences of these types, warrants the extension of this proposed bill. Communities have publicly rallied, demonstrating their frustration and expressing their outrage over the impact of youth offending. There have also been recent deaths allegedly arising from circumstances where young people have stolen vehicles. We must act on this level of community outrage. They are sending us a very clear message, and this bill is but one aspect of our government's response. It is not a knee-jerk response, but recognises that more needs to be done, which is why we're seeking to extend it. I'm extremely disappointed in the member for Bathurst and his contribution earlier. It is quite disingenuous to come into this place selectively cherry-picking media grabs from a dreadful tragedy that happened in my electorate recently and using it as justification for opposing this bill, and I personally find that quite abhorrent and frankly outrageous. Speaker, in 2024, the New South Wales Government introduced a multifaceted response to combat youth crime, including legislative reform, which this bill seeks to extend, and therapeutic and community initiatives which continue to be implemented. This included a targeted package for Moree to address crime, support young people and improve community safety. The multifaceted action was introduced as a response to community concerns about young people committing motor theft and break and enter offences at the time. The legislative reform included the enactment of Section 2022 of the Bail Act 2013 in April 2024 and was originally intended to as a sunset clause for 12 months. Which would then expire on 4 April 2025. But we've heard loud and clear the ongoing community concern about young people committing break and enter and motor theft offences, particularly in regional New South Wales. And the government considers it appropriate to extend this measure so that these issues can continue to be combated. The extension of the provision is intended to support public safety perceptions and address ongoing community concern about youth crime and to allow sufficient time for the continued implementation of broader community-based initiatives to respond to that crime. More time is also needed to fully implement and expand on the programs we've targeted, especially in those regional areas, to address local youth crime. It is vital that we have sufficient time to enable analysis of the impact of these programs, and this bill replaces the current sunset provision, so the Section 22 temporary bail test will sunset 4 years after it commenced, and that would be in the 4th of April 2028. 22C remains a specific time-limited and targeted test. It is temporary, additional bail test for young people aged 14 to 17 charged with committing a serious break and enter or motor theft offence while on bail for other offences of that type. Under this test, unless the bail authority has a high degree of confidence, which the member for Orange has just spoken about, that person will not commit a serious indictable offence while on bail. Bail is to be refused. The temporary bail test was intended as a circuit breaker, offering an immediate response while the broader community-based programs were implemented. The unacceptable risk which requires a bail authority to refuse bail if satisfied there is an unacceptable risk. The accused person will, if released from custody, fail to appear at any proceedings for the offence, commit a serious offence, endanger the safety of victims, individuals or the community, or interfere with witnesses or evidence. A bail authority may impose bail conditions to address those bail concerns to satisfy the unacceptable risk test. In the relevant circumstances, the bail authority then applies the additional Section 22C test as the last step of the process. Speaker, the Minns Labor government has backed up the legislation with important funding. Just last year, we announced a $26.2 million community safety package, including expansion of the New South Wales Police-run youth action meetings, expansion of the Youth Justice New South Wales Safe Aboriginal Youth Patrol program, additional funding for a targeted response in the town of Moree and surrounds. This month, the government also announced over $6 million to support community safety across Bourke, Moree and Kempsey. Across Western Region, New South Wales Police Operation Mongoose continues and has already identified 255 offenders, including 75 ringleaders. Speaker, we are making progress. It needs to be also noted that the Australian Government Department of Social Services is planning to undertake an evaluation of the Stronger Places, Stronger People initiative to capture learnings and insights from the first phase, to inform the forward approach and understand the effectiveness of community-led collective impact measures. This will be undertaken in partnership with Stronger Places, Stronger People communities and state and territory governments. We do need a multifaceted approach, and I agree it is problematic to lock up children. It needs to be recognised that overall the New South Wales youth crime rate has declined. However, there has been a significant spike in break and enters and car thefts. We as a government cannot turn a blind eye. As previously stated, we need to be realistic. Section 22C is a temporary additional bail test for young people aged 14 to 17 charged with committing a serious break and enter or motor vehicle theft offence while on bail for another offence of that type. That is why I support this bill, and I commend the bill to the House.
The question is that